the phone. I'll go in your pockets, find your phone. I will ring up your mum. I'll tell them about your bad manners.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said, no, no, no. You know the line, you know the voice. But the real story isn't just a chorus. It's how a once-in-a-generation singer turned pain into platinum, and how the noise around her got so loud that the songs had to fight to be heard. You clicked because you want answers that aren't wrapped in tabloid gloss.
That's not cost nothing. Manners. Right, one more time. My husband's out of jail, I went to.
How the art happened, why the pressure never let up, and what it cost. If you love honest music stories told straight, tap subscribe now. It helps more people find the truth behind the hits, and it means we can keep digging into legends one song at a time. But a legend doesn't start at the microphone. It starts long before anyone is listening. Amy Jade Winehouse was born on September 14th, 1983 in London. The house was filled with old records. Frank Sinatra on a Sunday, torch songs on a rainy night. She soaked up the greats, then answered them back with her own tone. A smoky contralto, that's the lowest female classical voice range, able to slide from a wink to a wound in one phrase. The voice sounded vintage. The mind was modern. She had a punk streak, school trouble, and zero interest in pretending to be perfect. That tension, old soul, new rebellion, gave the songs bite. By her late teens, she was writing with the accuracy of a poet who'd lived twice as long. She could make a joke hurt and a heartbreak laugh. People talk about authenticity until the word goes numb. Amy made it real again. Every lyric felt earned, as if she'd lived through the cost of each word. And as her songs cut deeper, the crowds grew larger. Her debut, Frank, in 2003, introduced the pen first. Conversational, clever, a little dangerous. It wasn't a chart bulldozer, but critics and musicians heard the signal through the noise. Then came Back to Black in 2006, and the signal became a siren. The production leaned into a Motown feel. That's a soulful, hook-heavy style from the 1960s that still moves crowds. Horns that punch, drums that stride, bass lines that carry secrets. Over that, Amy told the truth. No frosting, no filter. Back to Black is heartbreak distilled. Not melodrama, just the ache that sits heavy and never leaves. Love is a losing game felt like a standard the second it landed. And Rehab did something few songs do. It turned a private struggle into a public anthem without asking for pity. In February 2008, the Grammys lined up, and she walked away with a handful. The world didn't just hear her, it saluted. Then the world wanted more. The world always wants more. Success is a spotlight. A paparazzi swarm turns it into a floodlight that never shuts off. Amy's relationship with Blake Fielder's Civil had the intensity of a siren in the night. Some days tender, some days chaos. It bled into her writing in ways you can hear if you listen closely. The world stopped listening closely. It watched instead. Money poured in. So did demands. Major labels have A and R teams, artists and repertoire, whose job is to match songs to schedules and careers to calendars. At scale, that can become a machine. The machine ran hot. Amy could silence a room with one note, but the cost of that note was going up. The headlines started to write themselves. The cameras kept rolling. The person at the center was still a person. And the song that sounded like swagger was also a warning. Rehab was catchy enough to sing in a car. It was also complicated. It's easy to reduce someone's fight with substances to a slogan. It's harder to admit recovery isn't a straight line. Friends tried to help. Professionals tried to help. Sometimes she reached back. Sometimes she didn't. That's not villainy. That's what a struggle looks like up close. Touring can grind anyone down. Rooms change, time zones scramble. People ask for the best version of you every night on cue. Imagine doing that while your worst days are a public sport. Late period shows swung between breathtaking and broken. Some nights she lifted the roof. Other nights the weight won. The industry kept booking dates. The audience kept buying tickets. The myth of the unbreakable star kept telling everyone this was normal, but normal was not the word. In June 2011, the Belgrade show collapsed under its own pressure. Videos flew, think pieces followed. The best thing that happened next was a pause. Cancellations. A chance to stop, breathe, and try again. People close to her hoped the rest would help. There were signs she wanted quiet, and then there were nights when quiet couldn't find her. On July 23, 2011, the music stopped. The news spread fast. Reports said alcohol was involved. Too much, too quickly. Out of respect, we'll keep it simple and silent. It was a day when the world lost a rare instrument and a rare writer in one body. She was 27. People reach for the phrase 27 Club. It's shorthand for artists who died at 27: Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain. Labels don't explain lives, they just group grief. But Amy's story didn't end with the headlines. A different fight started the day after. When an artist is gone, someone else tells the story. Families protect. Filmmakers interpret. Fans compare rumors, interviews, and half-memories. The Amy Winehouse Foundation launched soon after to help people facing the struggles Amy knew too well. In 2015, the documentary Amy won awards and stirred debate. Some viewers called it unsparing and important. Her family pushed back on parts they felt were unfair. Years later, the 2024 biopic Back to Black reopened the conversation. Many fans felt it showed compassion. Others said it softened the roughest edges. Both reactions can be sincere. Both can be partially true. Around every anniversary, whispers rise about unreleased demos. Some insiders have hinted there are fragments, notebooks, and ideas. Nothing official points to a finished album. It's wise to treat any secret record coming soon as speculation, not fact. Online, a wave of AI covers mimicking Amy's tone created their own controversy. Some fans say this feels like borrowing a ghost. Many call for strict ethical lines and estate control. The common thread across all of this: people still want to hear her. That hunger is love. It can also be risky if it forgets the human being behind the microphone. There's a better way to listen. Start with a short playlist that tells the truth in order. Stronger Than Me first. Young, sharp, unimpressed. Back to Black next, where the bass line carries a secret you can't unhear. Then, Love Is a Losing Game. A goodbye said so gently it stings twice. Rehab, but focus on the verses, not just the hook. Tears Dry on Their Own to feel the chin-up resilience. Add Valerie to remember that joy was always part of the palette. Those 6 tracks are a map. Follow it and you'll meet the person, not the myth. So what did we learn? That a voice can be both armor and open wound. That fame can be a megaphone and a magnifying glass. That money can solve logistics and miss the point. That audiences have power. We can feed the spectacle or we can choose the song. Amy's legacy isn't just the records sold or the trophies collected in February 2008. It's the way she made honesty sound expensive again. It's the standard she set for anyone trying to sing the truth without sanding it down. Some say the industry failed her. Others say the demons were bigger than any calendar change or intervention could fix. The truth is usually a hard mix: systemic pressure, personal battles, and the kind of talent that burns bright enough to light a room and scorch the edges. If there's a charge to everyone listening now, it's this: treat artists like people first. Ask for their best work, but never at the cost of their breath. You came for answers. Here's one that lands. The music wins when we listen for meaning instead of mess. Amy Winehouse didn't belong to one era, one label, or one tidy narrative. She belonged to the moment a voice meets a line and turns it into a confession anyone can borrow. That's why the records still move. That's why the debates never really stop. That's why, when the chorus hits, the room still goes quiet. If this story gave you a new way to hear Amy, share it with a friend who only knows the headlines, and hit subscribe so you never miss the legends we're unpacking next. Legends and Lyrics, where the music lives on.